Hey guys, we're just waiting on Lizzy Farrall joining us tonight to talk about her debut album Bruise, the Purple Movement and more. We're kind of going to chat with her about her progress from the Barbados EP and more, so we'll just give Lizzy a few minutes to jump on. If you've got any questions during the live stream, you can put them in the comments, try and ask them if they're suitable. Please do keep them suitable. And yeah, let's get ready. It's just loading now, so we should have Lizzy jumping on now.
Oh,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, I guess.
Good. It's
So,
weird not seeing you on house party. I'm not
I
gonna
know,
lie, Charlotte.
bit more sober than usual.
Yes, I'm having a nice coffee.
Yeah, I don't have a drink right now. I've been working. Sorry.
It's okay.
So, if you're just joining us now, we are going live with Lizzy Farrall to talk about her debut album Bruise, her growth since Barbados, and a bit more. If you've got any comments or questions, please put them in, and we'll have a nice chat.
Hooray! I'm
Hooray.
excited.
So, how are you?
I'm good. I've napped a lot today. I'm not gonna lie. It's been one of those isolation days of being like, yeah, I'm not getting out of bed. Goodbye.
It's got to be done at some point, though, doesn't it?
It has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been okay.
Good. Lockdown got you listening to anything fun at the minute?
Oh, yeah. What have I been listening to loads yesterday? Oh, I listened to the band Nightly. I can't stop listening to them at the moment.
Nice.
I used to listen. I came across them the start. I think it was the start of last year, and then it was one of those bands that I'd forgotten about, and then they popped up on my Spotify again. And I was like, oh my god, this band. Yeah, and also Deftones, but I always listen to Deftones.
No surprise there then. So, obviously, in March, you released your debut album. How do you feel about that?
I'm thankful it's out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so glad it's finally out and people can hear it after being sat on it for over a year. And I started writing it 2 years ago, so I'm just I'm so glad it's out. Obviously, it's not the ideal time for it to have been released to the world, but still the reception and everything has been amazing, and I couldn't be more thankful for the amount of support. And I feel like more people are being more supportive because of the circumstances we're in.
It's really difficult circumstances for everyone as an artist, and like you said, it's completely unpredictable. And I bet if you could have, some people I guess would have changed their album date, but you took this into your own hands and started your Purple movement instead, which relied on your fan base. Do you want to talk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, it was quite overwhelming really when because I put up a bit of a statement, because we sort of did debate holding off the album, but we'd already held it off twice prior. So I was just like, no, no, I'm not holding off anymore. We're just gonna have to go with it. And so I put a bit of a statement up, obviously explaining once the Set It Off tour and everything was just looking like nothing was going to happen for me this year. And God, loads of people, bless them, flooded my inbox and was like, how can we help more people, how can we help you to push this album, how do we get more people listening? And I just came up with this Purple movement where I was just just turn shit purple, turn your profile picture purple, whatever.
Love it.
And kids were sending me their photos, and I was putting my actual purple grade on it as well. So it's just that cute little thing to, I guess, to make people feel like they've been a part of the creating of the whole album and the journey.
And it's kind of something we said with the Liar in our last episode, but you kind of dropped the veil between this kind of artist and fan and just made it a group and a collective and a family sort of atmosphere, rather than being a closed off artist, which is really great.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've always been like that. I think being a solo artist, I think that almost comes hand in hand, I feel, because I sometimes I love it and sometimes I hate it, because I feel like when you're a solo artist, there's a lot of pressure on you as a person of what your personality is and how, if people are going to like you. It's more of it's not just your music, it is essentially just you. Whereas in a band, I feel like that because of the name that they have, there's that protection for them. Whereas it's like, yeah, this is my name and this is who I am, and you've got to like all of it, I guess.
You come as a package on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's do some digging into the album. Bruise came out on March 27th, and I guess it's a real step up from Barbados. How do you feel you've grown as an artist since then?
Because, well, essentially, when I first dropped Barbados, the single, I feel like that was my stepping stone and sort of hinting to what I wanted to go down in the future, like onwards from that release. And then the Barbados EP wasn't even meant to happen. Like, it legit straight up wasn't even meant to happen. It was because I got the tour in the States, and with Emma Rose I set it off in Broadside. But obviously my visas got denied, which was wonderful. I didn't get to go on the tour, but we planned the release of the Barbados EP around that tour. So it was a bit, obviously that was a bit poo, not gonna lie. So it was a bit like a surprise. So the EP came out of nowhere, and I remember everyone being like, okay, there's been no press leading up to this. And it was because it was so like, oh, we got the tour, so we're releasing this has to go. And then the tour went, nope, that's not happening. So a lot of those songs were actually meant to be on the album. Like, all of those songs were meant to be on the album. But obviously when the album came out, I was like, yeah, I can't put all of these on the album again. Like, it's not right. So it's weird. Like, they're both, for me, it's like, that is my album. They're both together is the album. So I feel like I haven't grown too much from that, but I definitely think that having those two separate releases actually helped a lot more. And I think some of the songs that are on the EP and not on the album fit better that way, I feel. So I'm kind of thankful, really.
It's worked out really well for you, I guess, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I guess the album has this more chill, a bit more of a chill vibe. We hear some saxophone, obviously not of the ska kind. And there's just all these different layers. But you're very open and honest with your emotions on the album, aren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, I guess. I really struggle to write lyrics that aren't personal to me. I even struggle to like sing other people's songs sometimes, like covers and stuff. I don't know, I've always been like that. So it's a blessing and it is a curse, because I feel like a lot of people feel like they know a lot about me because of how personal I am on the lyrics, which is cool, and I'm like so fine with that. But I do also try to tend to be a bit more cryptic with what I'm singing about. So yeah, it's scary.
And you kind of, I guess, as an artist, also want the fan to have their own journey with the lyrics as well,
God,
don't you?
Yeah, I feel like if I completely just plastered exactly what every concept of that song was about, everyone would be like, oh, well, I can't really relate to that. I mean, I guess a lot of people could, but for me, music is about having that connection. And especially, I think, in like the alternative scene, as we're such outsiders, I feel us listeners who listen to alternative music have always been outsiders and very emotional. So
100%.
Yeah, so, and that's why we like those bands, because we connect with them, and a lot of the band members were also outsiders that are in alternative music, so we're all like this little clique of really emotionally unstable humans. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but
just most.
Most, yeah, I feel.
And with the album, what do you think's kind of the most open and honest lyric you've put out?
Oh god, it's so hard. There's a lot. I think song wise, Knocked for Six for me is really, really personal. Like, that's a lot. I think, but I also think it's a very relatable topic. So that song is obviously, well, it may not be obvious, but it's about sort of, again, being that outsider and sort of trying to live up to expectations of other people that aren't really healthy, and just like wanting to fit in, but also you're essentially making yourself ill, because there's like no balance, because these people aren't healthy, but you feel like you need to be a part of some sort of group. And I think a lot of people went through that in teenage years, like early teenage years especially. So that song's really personal, and there's a lot of like really, really deep lyrics for me on there, which, you know, it's like I even struggle to sing. You know, it will choke me up. Like, but I won't go too much into that because that's too dark. Yeah, but I think that one, and probably Okay, which is the second to last song in the album, which is also a bit of like an interlude. It's not necessarily a normal structured song, and that one's really personal as well.
So I guess with the album, I mean, I was digging through it again today just for those moments, and I really think "Gaslighting" is a great song, and it's something as an emotion so many and a feeling so many people have been through. But it doesn't just apply to relationships; it's friendships, it's family, it's everything. Why did you feel like putting a topic out like gaslighting was pertinent?
I think because I think there's so much of it nowadays. Like, even like you said, in friendships, in family, even like in relationships, like it seems to be so common, or it's just more talked about now. I'm not too sure. And as someone who's been, I guess you say, like a victim of being gaslighted quite a lot through like my childhood and my relationships and even some like toxic friendships, for me it just felt easy to put that out and to talk about it. And also I don't think a lot of people realize it's going on. It's one of those horrible situations that once you get out of it you realize how horrific it was. So
100%.
yeah, I feel like for me it was something I wanted to sing about. It's really important, and I think a lot of people may listen to it and realize that actually, yeah, this isn't like talked about maybe as much in songs. Like, I've never really heard many like lyrical content about it.
I think literally the only one I can think of at the top of my head is Creeper Crickets, and those gaslighting liars. Yeah. And it's, you can even feel the passion in the room, especially from a lot of the kind of older part of the audience that have been in relationships and stuff, like fully scream that line just because it's the anger and the emotion in one lyric.
Yeah, definitely.
So with the album, obviously you did the Purple Movement, but there's this little white rabbit character. It's very Alice in Wonderland, Donnie Darko-esque. It's a bit twisted, and do you want to talk us through it a bit?
Yeah, it's it's one of those things like, what, one day I'll probably go into complete detail of that character. See, with me, my visuals and my album tell two different stories. They are connected, but they're two very personal stories. Like, a lot of my visuals is based around quite like a really personal and quite traumatic experience I went through, and it's that White Rabbit is sort of a way of me to talk about it without actually saying it. So it's sort of essentially like a release for me to have it there. And it takes like huge inspiration from, like you said, Alice in Wonderland and Donnie Darko. It's like that otherworldly figure that you're not sure if it's like guiding you somewhere or is haunting you. It's kind of like this weird, I don't know, just uneasy feeling, I guess. And I definitely think he will, or she will carry on with me for a lot of my musical journey. I don't think I want that to be disappearing anytime soon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So over your years as growing and coming into the scene a bit more and joining the Pure Noise family, you've had a great time touring with some amazing artists, as you said, from Amorosa to Set It Off and all those kind of bands and stories so far. Who's been your favourite to play with?
I hate saying this because they've all been like so lovely. But there's always one tour that will like stick with me, I think, for the rest of my life. Was when I first went out to the States. It's the second time I went out to the States, and it was when I was going out to record my album, but I also did some acoustic shows with 4 Years Strong, Microwave, Elder Brother, and was that it? Microwave, Elder Brother? Yeah, and 4 Years Strong. Sorry, I was just thinking, it's like, there's more people on that tour, but there was more people on the tour, but they were just within the party. And I honestly cannot express how much those guys in those bands were the most welcoming, respectful bunch of human beings I've ever had like the pleasure of touring with. You know, they're quite a bit older than me, and it was my first time being in the States for that long and touring in the States, and they were just so lovely. And the audience that I played to as well every night was so nice and so welcoming. And I think I was terrified. I was so intimidated, so scared. I was like, why the hell am I on this tour? Nobody knows who the hell I am. Like, this is horrific. But they just like, they were like especially Microwave and Elder Brother. We'd be by merch and they'd just like give me little pep talks, and oh god, I can't express in the 4 Year Strong guys. It was just, honestly, it like makes me want to cry thinking about that tour. They gave me so much confidence and made me really feel like I belonged in this scene, and I shouldn't be thinking that I'm, you know, don't belong here because I'm like younger or because I'm a female. Like, it was just, that will be one of my favorite tours of all time.
And it's one of the things we've talked about separately, is those moments are so special because not every tour, I guess, is that welcoming. Not every crowd is that receptive. And I know you've dealt with that before. And it's the argument that we've also said of like, why don't men get the questions of what's it like being a male in a band?
Oh my God, don't.
Hey, Lizzy, what's it like being a female? I can't even finish a sentence.
No, I don't want to be one of those, but it is honestly the most aggravating question you can ask a female in this scene is, oh, so what's it like being a female in this scene? And you're like, right, do you ask are you going to ask Parker Cannon that question? What's it like being a man in this scene? No, so don't. I'm here. I'm a woman. Yeah, it doesn't make me any different. Oh, don't get started, because we'll go off on a
I know. Honestly, this will last another hour if we carry on.
Yeah.
But it's those moments that kind of teach you as well on the road to an extent, that you learn and you know to brush them off and just move on, because you're a strong, independent female out on the road, and you really do not give any shits. Let's be honest.
No, I definitely have got more of that mentality. Like, when I first began, it hit me a lot. I think it was a shock, and like, I remember even my bassist, who was tour managing me at the time, I think he even got like a bit of a shock realizing the difference, because he'd not done it, he'd not toured or like looked after a female on tour before, and he fully witnessed the difference between it. And there is, like, as much as like people say it isn't, something like, oh, it can't be that different, like, there is a huge difference. I mean, not all the time, but there's just little subtle things, and gradually it'll build, and you'll go like, oh my god, just because I'm a female doesn't mean I'm any different, you know. But you, like you said, as you mature, and I think it's not even in like music scene, I think it's just day-to-day life anyway for everyone, you just have to take it on the chin, and you have to just ignore it and carry on and not let it affect what you're doing in life.
So do you think touring's kind of really taught you a lot as a person and brought you up a bit more? Yeah,
I think so. And also, I feel like in some ways it's been the complete opposite. Like, because sometimes I've been super confident, and then some circumstances I've been the complete opposite and just wanted to hide and like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. It's too scary. But I think the European tour that I did in October, that definitely gave me another backbone, in the sense of, you know, like, you've really got to just suck this up and carry on if this is what you want to do. But in a positive way.
Good. I like that it's in a positive way, and it can be something. And you really surround yourself with friends on tour as well, don't you? So that kind of really helps, because you've got a great team when you go out on the road. Yeah,
100%. And I think that's how you get through it, is having the right people around you and who respect you and understand. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd ever be able to cope.
So we'll kind of round it up, because we're hitting the 20-minute mark, and I don't want to keep you too much longer. I'm sure I'll see you on a house party later.
Yeah, probably.
So as you continue to grow as an artist and develop your sound and whatnot. What do you reckon we can see from you in the next year or so? Or
well, hopefully I'll be able to tour with this album. That would be fantastic. Otherwise, I might just be touring with completely new material. We never know. But yeah, to be fair, I've been doing a lot of planning. I think things will be changing again for next releases, which I'm excited about. I'm quite open with saying that I don't like genre boundaries, I guess. I don't like sticking to the same sort of genre. I want to, in a sense, be fluid and be going in and out of all of the music that I listen to. I want to write music that I listen to, which can go from like Frank Sinatra to Sworn In quite fast. So, you know.
love it. It's all just about natural growth for you then, as an artist, and as you continue your music career, and God knows where we'll see you in a year's time.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know who I'll be tomorrow, to be honest. So we'll see.
The purple, I'm sure, will stay consistent a little bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Might be a bright orange by tomorrow. No, I'm joking. But yeah.
So after this chat, if people want to find you and stay up to date with you online, where are they best finding you?
Instagram, Lizzy Farrall, Twitter, Lizzy Farrall, Spotify's all Lizzy Farrall, Facebook, everything is Lizzy Farrall. So it's easy peasy.
Easy. Can't make it any simpler. Go support Lizzy's album. Check it out. Bruise streaming on all services now. She's got a lovely merch site with some very funky designs as well. Find us, Turn It Up Louder online as Up Louder blog or Turn It Up Louder blog, and find Lizzy Farrall on all social medias. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
You too, Charlotte.
Bye.